So, it's been a minute. We kind of time traveled through the year a bit.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about any of it. But hello, welcome back. It
There
is
are no,
episode 48. What were you going to say?
as we just said right before we're recording, there are no breaks in Bossing Say.
There are no breaks in Bossing Say. We uploaded every single date this year like we were supposed to. If you didn't see the episodes, that's
100%.
on you. We totally did not just disappear for 4 or 5 months straight.
And there
Anyways,
definitely isn't going to be a makeup episode about all the shit that's happened in the,
not at
I
all.
don't know,
Definitely
this,
won't be a
in
makeup
this,
episode
this
after this
break
one.
that
I know. What's ironic is
supposedly
we have
happened.
4
Whatever.
episodes going on between now and the end of the month. It is July 9th, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But we have 4 episodes going up. We have one that was supposed to go up in March, another one that was supposed to go up in March, and another one that was supposed to go up in April that I just never got around to because life decided to just kick us in the fucking face. And then we didn't record anything for 3 months straight.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, welcome back. We are Hell's Newsletter is officially returning. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I did it again.
Wow.
That's how long it's been. Jesus. The LoofCast, is officially returning.
We have to blurb that out. We have to blurb it out now.
No, there are there are no bloopers in Bossing.
Damn it.
I did it again.
How is this?
The LoofCast, is returning finally.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've been gone for a good 4 months. So really, there's been no check-ins with us. Well, the 3 episodes you're going to see in this month, of course, were recorded months ago. So, in short, a lot has happened between us. I mean, well, not between us, but with us both.
We'll get into that in another
episode. We will.
We'll talk about it.
However, for the return, I have a really great story that happened about a month and a half ago at work.
Yep.
Which was
we both
really
definitely have small talk prepared.
Oh
definitely,
yeah, it's pretty funny. He actually already knows about this, but I got my first ever experience in being Batman. I now know what it's like to kind of be like Bruce Wayne. And you all may be wondering, what the fuck does that mean? And I'll tell you. So, we all know Bruce Wayne and Batman. The same person, right? One has fancy cars, one's a rich-ass motherfucker. The other one beats the living shit out of criminals in the night. So technically, I got to do both of those things. And I'm not admitting to an assault charge here. I did not attack anybody. You were in the wrong seat.
What?
But I'm not admitting to an assault charge. I did not attack anybody. I have not broken the law. But one day, I was closing up at work, right? And it was just me closing solo in my department. So I had one of the other managers up there with me and somebody else. And this dude walks through the security towers with 2 bags on him. And we're like, okay, maybe, it's just like, some accidentally setting off the tower or something. So I stop him and I'm like, hey, man, something went off. Did you make a purchase with us? And he goes, no. And then I'm like, all right, cool. Can I just take a look in your bags to make sure you don't have anything of ours on you? And he goes, yeah, sure. I just gotta go to my car first. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, but you gotta leave the bags here so I can look through them. And he basically brushes me off. He just does that. He does that motion with his hands, which for context for the listeners, he basically brushed his hands off towards me, and then walked out. So I glanced back at my managers and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go follow this guy out because what the fuck does he have? So I follow him out. And I get right outside the door. And this dude takes off running. Like, full dead sprint across the parking lot. And I, of course, start chasing after him. But the problem is right outside of the workplace, my workplace, there is a set of bike racks. Because a lot of people bike over there. And I jumped the bike racks. And I fucked up the jump. So my foot hit it and I nearly tripped. Now, here's the other thing. At work, we all use radios to communicate because that how else do you communicate in a big ass department store?
Yep.
And as soon as my foot hit the bar and I nearly stumbled and I nearly fell to the ground, I stumbled and my radio dropped. So my radio fell off of where it was hooked and hit the ground. And I continued chasing the guy because I didn't have time to look for it and then follow him. I would have lost him. So I took off running. And the best part is one of the managers, she's trying to get me on radio the whole time. She's like, hey, Lucy, where the hell are you? Because she's on the phone with the police. I'm on the phone with the police as I'm chasing this dude.
Yeah.
And eventually, one of my other coworkers who like walks outside and finds my radio and brings it to her, and she's like, "Oh shit! Okay, no wonder he's not responding. He doesn't have a radio." So
Yeah.
I'm on the phone with the police. The dispatch is telling me, "You know, somebody else is already calling about this, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'm the only one chasing this dude." So I'm running across the parking lot still, and the guy and myself both run past this dude who's packing up shit in his car. And this is a dude that I talked to like an hour or two before in our nutrition section. And I basically was talking to him about triathlons and a few other things and recommending some stuff for him. And he recognizes me as I sprint past him. But I don't like exchange a look. I don't tell him anything. There was no communication between us. He just looks at me as I run past him. And I'm chasing this dude down the street when this customer that I'd talked to, he drives this like Audi supercar or something. Like the fancy ass fucking Audi.
Of course.
And he pulls up next to me, opens his passenger door, and just says, "Get in, let's go." So, in hindsight, if you ever work retail and you chase somebody out of a store, never, ever get in some stranger's car. Don't do that in general. Like, it's a stupid fucking idea. And I will fully admit it.
In
like,
hindsight, you actually just could have gotten kidnapped.
Right in hindsight, yeah, I could have jumped into a serial killer's car in hindsight. Like, I could be dead right now. But I jumped in this dude's car and he speeds off down the street. Now this guy who shoplifted from us, he is one fast motherfucker running with 2 bags. He is still running. He has outpaced me by like at least 4 city blocks at this point. But the street doesn't have blocks. So we speed off after him and he runs up into this little park area. And I jump out of the car when we get up to the top of that little bridge. And I jump over into the park area too. Like I jumped the fence and continued running after him. And this dude turns around and sees me jumping out of this Audi supercar. And he throws a bag into the bush and throws the other one across the park. Because he's like, okay, fuck this. Like with what I got out of, I guess. But I stopped and I grabbed the bags because that's all I was really trying to get. Like, dude, I'm a retail employee. I'm not gonna jump on the dude and break his kneecaps. I'm not Batman.
Yeah.
And it was really funny because the guy, the customer that I was in the car with, pulls around to a parking lot on the other side of the park, gets out of his car, slams his door shut, and takes off running after the guy. Who's now running away from me. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, this is stupid. Don't do that. And he comes back around the corner. He's like, yo, he's this way, come on. Like that dude has waited his entire fucking life for that moment. Like that dude saw that as an opportunity. It was like, this is why I go to the gym. Let's fucking go. And he just rolled with me for it, which was sick. But I tell him, I'm like, hey, it's fine. I got the shit back. Like, don't worry, calm down. And the police eventually find me. And I give him a report. I let him know that all the stuff's good. And I call my manager. And I get on the phone with her. I can't call the store, obviously, because we just closed at the time we ran out. So the phone lines aren't working. So I call her on her cell phone. And she's like, are you good? And I'm like, yeah, I got the shit back. And she's like, you did what? And it was really funny, but she was like, let's go, dude, that's sick. I hadn't told her about the fact that I jumped in this dude's car at this point. So I hang up with her and I go talk to the police. I give them a report and they give me a ride back to the store. Because at this point, I'm a good distance away. But they drive me back and I get there. And I bring all the stuff back and I'm like, all right, cool, we're good, we're done, easy. And I'm talking with her and I basically explained the situation. She was like, yeah, I thought that was you getting into that car. And I was like, oh, you saw that. And she's like, yeah, I kind of ran after you. And then I saw you jump into some random dude's car and was like, you know what? Fuck it. He's got that handled. Don't ever do that again. And I was like, all right, you know what? Fair enough. But the best part about that is we write reports for this stuff just to send out to the store, just people know. And I wrote the report for it, and she just kind of leans over me and goes, maybe leave the fact that you jumped into some guy's car out. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to add that in.
Probably should leave that out.
Well, I don't want to add it in
Yeah.
because those emails go to our founders too. And the last
Exactly,
the
yeah.
last thing I want to be known for from any of the people who own or like operate the company at a higher level is the fact that I jumped in a stranger's car to chase down a shoplifter.
Hey, bro, you're committed to the company. They gotta respect
They
it.
gotta
You know what I
respect
mean?
it. No, that was literally just like my CVS days kicking in when I was a teenager. That was my CVS days
I could
kicking
just
in of just like unhinged fucking. All right, I got this shit.
I could just imagine. Just I've been seeing way too many TikTok edits, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm into funk music, so that's all over a bunch of like sports edits and stuff like that.
Oh, that
It
would have been a
reminds me of
perfect edit.
like, yeah, bro. That reminds me of like you getting out of the car.
You cut out.
Headset.
Oh, hello. Welcome back.
Hello, headset. There we go. Oh, my headset just freaked the fuck out.
All good. But what were you saying?
Anyways, I was saying, it was like there's a edit of Messi, right?
Oh yeah, like the
Where he
funk
gets
edits.
slide. Yeah, so he gets slide tackled, right?
Yep.
And then he goes off screen. All of a sudden, the camera switches back to him. He's standing and ready to take a shot.
Damn. All right.
He was just collapsed on the ground, and all of a sudden he's just up and
Bro's standing
just
on
goes,
business.
So I would just imagine that as the guy got free, you seeing him get there, him seeing you get out of the car, just
Yeah,
run.
literally, like the dude took off running as I chased him out of the store, and then he turns around to see me again, and he's like, "Oh, what the fuck is this shit?" Bro manifested out of this fucking like fancy ass Audi, and then jumped a fence. Like the best part about that was like I don't know what was in me that night, but it wasn't one of those like tall fences. It was one of those like like just the metal bar railings.
Yeah.
I didn't even put my hands on that thing. I cleared that fucking bar just purely jumping. And that's when he threw the bags. So that would have been like a perfect fucking like I put the fear of God into that man.
Just the freeze frame of that.
Literally, no, it was so funny
lie.
too, because like I got out of the car, I ran out like onto the sidewalk, and I cleared the fucking bar without even touching it. And I put the fear of God into that guy, and it was really funny.
I won't lie. I would also be pretty prepared for that moment. I was always that kid. A very short. I'll tell this short story real quick. I used to climb trees a lot and like climb buildings and shit. I used to be that kid, right?
Didn't we all?
A lot of the time it was just a shortcut to get home, right? But there was this big tree in a town center I used to live in. I was sitting at the top of it. Mind you, it's 30 feet up. So like,
Yeah, just casually in the sky.
But I'm reading. I've been up there for like 2 hours. All of a sudden I see some firemen starting to walk over because the fire station is literally right there. I can see
they're
it.
just like, are you trapped up there?
No. So apparently the bar called and saw me up there and thought I was stuck up there, and they were like, "Hey, kid, what you doing up there?" And I'm like, "Reading." They're like, "Oh, you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got up here, didn't I?" And they're like, "Yeah, fair enough. Have a good one then."
That's the thing I love about firemen is like they're the most chill motherfuckers ever.
Yep.
Just hey kid,
I didn't move.
What you doing?
I
Oh, yeah, that's great though.
Yep. It's time for my small talk, I guess.
It is.
Well, first off, a big fuck you to Sony.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I have beef with them for other reasons.
I have beef with their audio.
I have beef with the company as a
specifically
whole.
their headphones.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Can you hear my fans?
So I bought. No.
Thank God.
You didn't pick up. You're good. Yeah. So I bought a pair of WX M5s. It's one of their high-end headphones. It was an upgrade from the 4s that I had before, but my 4s were breaking after like I've had them for like a year or two. So it's all right. It's whenever, right? So I got the XM5s and was very happy with them until last week, where I woke up. And mind you, I am one of those people that takes good care of their headphones. I put them in the case every time. I have maybe fallen asleep with them once on my head, right?
I also thought you
And
were
even
about
if
to
I
just
do
end
have
that
them,
story with "I woke up." I was like, "Damn,
yeah.
okay, that's a dark fucking ending."
No. Yeah, no. I woke up and the earmuff was hanging from the headband.
What the
by
fuck?
The wire. Yeah.
I was gonna say, especially if you weren't wearing them at the time and they break, that's
No.
a different fucking story entirely.
No. And with the way I pulled them out, they were already broken. But I'm like, how? Because I put them in last night and they weren't broken.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I put them in. I go to look it up, right? I'm like, what the hell? I still have a warranty on it, so I contact Sony. I take a picture of it, and they're like, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Oh, because of course.
Seems like
Sony.
you broke your headphones. It seems like you broke your headphones. And I'm like, no, it's because of your shitty build quality.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I'm sorry, we can't do anything. And I'm like, okay.
Because of
so
course.
I looked a little closer. At this bracket, quote unquote.
Yes.
That it's holding it together. I'm gonna send you this picture, Lucy. It's a fucking metal thimble.
Of course it is.
I am not even kidding you. That is holding that pieces together.
Of course it is.
Like,
also, please hold for 1 second.
what?
Continue telling your story. I'm going to open my window because my PC is currently trying to blow itself up with its fans.
You're all good.
My fucking fans are about to set a new goddamn speed record.
If you don't know what a thimble is, by the way, just imagine the trash can Monopoly piece, but with a hole on the other side. That is what was holding the headphones in place. And it rotated on it because it had a little hole for the bracket to sit inside. Oh, by the way, if it breaks off, you can't put it back on. So there goes your $300 headphones in less than 6 months that you've already had them. So I still would recommend the XM4s and the XM3s. Never buy the XM5s. And me personally, I will just shop otherwhere for headphones. Right now, I'm using my dad's Sennheisers that I recommended him because he wanted some headphones for the plane. Some noise canceling ones. And they're cheaper. Sennheisers are pretty expensive, I won't lie, but they're the cheaper headphones of theirs, and they're very nice. So I'm gonna go get the nicer versions of these.
That's
and
fair.
Go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, my beef with Sony is just over Helldivers.
Yeah. I get both sides. I'll say that.
I get both sides as well,
debate,
but the thing
I
is
get
like,
both sides.
I get both sides as well, but I feel like it's pretty underhanded to allow a bunch of people to buy the game, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, now you have to make an account. We didn't tell you any of this at launch.
They did, though. That's the thing. It's been on... You know that splash screen? No, you know that splash screen that you get when you first open the game the first few times?
That's the thing, when you first
it's on
open
that screen. Yeah, but it's on there like a few times. It does open it continuously, so it does allow you to see it.
No,
that was my problem with it. You have to physically hit skip, right?
Well, my other problem with it is the fact is like it's not on the Steam page really.
I think it is.
When they first released it, wasn't.
It wasn't correct.
That was my irk with it, because a bunch of people who didn't like have PSN things or have never done anything with it, they bought the game, and then of course it said it after you bought the game.
I agree.
Like that's my irk with it.
And see, I agree with that, and I don't really want to start this debate, but I just will say a lot of companies have been doing that for a really long time. So
No, they have. I agree with that.
It's just weird for me to see people get mad at it now all of a sudden.
Like, I don't have an issue with having to link stuff like that. It's just when it's not, like, openly broadcasted, especially if it's like a paid game.
Yeah.
Like, that's just my thing about it.
Yeah.
And then also, like, the other thing for me is, like, the countries that, like, don't have access to PSN, they just lose the game entirely.
Right.
That's
which I do agree that Sony should have just never offered the game in those countries. I do agree that.
Yeah. That's
that I will agree with. Yeah. Yeah. That I will agree with, because if they were going to revoke it anyway, why
allow people in those countries to buy
that's
them?
the part. Exactly. That's the part I do agree with. Yeah.
That's the part that I was most mad about. Like, the PSN stuff, I'm kind of like, whatever. Like, I don't mind making an account for a game that I, like, play. Because, I mean, I've had to do that for tons of other ones. I don't really give a shit about that. Like, that's its own thing. It's the part where it's like, they don't openly advertise it, and then they sell it in a country that it's going to lose access to anyways. Like, I mean, I know this doesn't really happen because a lot of game companies out there are US-based, but, like, if I bought a game here in the US and they're like, oh, your country actually can't play that, I'd be like, seriously? I've played like 35 hours of that in the last month before you revoked it, and now I can't get a refund.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my only irk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So before we get into I do want to talk about what just happened 2 days ago. We'll get into that, what is conspired with that situation. But I want to start with something more positive first. I started to talk to you before this episode about EWC, the Esports World Cup.
I was about to call that the wrong acronym.
I didn't. Yeah.
I almost said the WDC. I was like, that's not right.
WT.
The WDC. I'm like, that's not right. That's not even a thing.
Yeah. So the EWC is the Esports World Cup. It used to be called Gamers 8, and it recently got rebranded last year to attract more people into the sport, as well as organizers.
Sorry.
Yeah, pretty much. It is hosted in Saudi Arabia, and the prize pool for all the games combined is, $60 million.
Because of course.
So yeah, it's a pretty big tournament. It's pretty big tournament. There are actually, give me 1 second. I want to. There's a fucking page I want to pull up real quick. Because there's a cool thing about their trophy that I want to explain, and I think you'll fucking love it.
Ayo.
Let's see. Also, if you're gonna look up EWC, don't look up EWC. You'll get the European Wax Company.
But what if I want a European wax?
Exactly. I guess, Okay. So to go down here are all the games here. We got, I don't know what game that is. Fuck's sakes. Mobile Legends. It's a MOBA game. Free Fire. That's Dota 2, League of Legends, Call of Duty Warzone, CS2, PUBG Mobile, Mobile Legends. Mobile Legends again, but it's for a different group of people. It is a different cup, basically. Of Overwatch 2, Siege, Honor of Kings, Apex, Teamfight Tactics, Fortnite, Street Fighter, StarCraft, Modern Warfare 3, FIFA, PUBG Normal, Rocket League. I don't know what that is. Sim Racing and Tekken. There are all the games included in this year's
What's the one you don't know?
EWC.
Oh.
I figured it out. It's sim racing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a crazy amount of games, though.
Yeah, and all of them have different prize pools and different amount of teams in them. But it is really cool. So far, there have only been 2 things that have finished. And that is League of Legends and Call of Duty Warzone. With Call of Duty Warzone, Team Falcons, my favorite org, took the W in dominant fucking fashion.
Let's go.
And we are being dubbed as one of, if not the best Warzone team of all time, which is kind of fucking nuts.
Shut the fuck up, PC fans.
That's cool.
I'm sorry. They're getting on my
nerves.
nerves.
That's kind of cool.
Like, they quiet down and they're revving up.
Yep.
It's lovely.
And the second game, like I said, is League of Legends, and that was won by T1, which, if you don't know League of Legends, you might have heard of Faker. It's Faker's team. Of course. Of course they won. God damn it.
That's how it goes.
So the cool thing I want to talk about with this tournament is their trophy system, okay? So basically, this is how the trophy systems work. There are 3 main trophies, okay?
Yes.
You have the competitor, you have the organization cup, you have the monolith, and then you have your individual trophies, right? So each player at the beginning of the tournament is given a key. It looks like a stainless steel triangle, right?
Okay.
And each key you'll have your organization on it, right? And the names of each player on it, right?
Yeah.
You will carry this key with you through the tournament. If you win, your key is placed into the individual game's trophy, right? And the outer shell of the key is taken off so it can be put on the monolith, which the monolith, I don't think it's called the monolith. That's just what I call it. It's literally this giant. Yeah, it's basically like this giant. How it's not like a boulder. It's like, for fuck's sakes. It's a thing with. I'm gonna send you a picture. Please tell me the word for this.
It's not just a boulder.
Like Jesus Christ.
It's a rock.
It's a rock.
Sneeze just said it's
like it has all the winners on it. It has all the winners on it.
Send me the photo and I'll.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a picture.
All right.
It is called a totem.
The totem.
Jesus Christ.
There's the European Wax Center. In downtown San Francisco. There's 4 of them.
So basically what happens is on that key that they gave you, right? They take the outer, there's an outer goldish color shell and then the silver key on the inside, right? They take the outer goldish shell and they put it up on the totem. And your key is there forever.
Oh, damn. All right.
Yeah, no, that's just that picture that you see. That is in the ground in Saudi Arabia. That's a physical thing.
Damn.
Yeah. Now you may be like, oh, that's super cool. And then they get to put the inner part of the key inside the individual game trophy that they get, right?
Hell yeah.
Now you'll be like, oh, that's pretty cool. But nah, here's the cool part, Lucy. The rest of the competitors' keys, you may be like, oh, they get to keep them or to take them home. No, they're crushed in front of them by a 10,000-pound crusher. Okay? And then the winner of the tournament, right, gets to pick teams' keys that they have defeated along the way and put them in the resin of the trophy so that they will be immortalized as their losers forever.
Oh, so they crush those up and then they take some parts of it and throw it in the resin?
And throw it in the trophy, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, the resin that's going to be in the trophy when they finally set it. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
It
such a
is
sick fucking thing to do.
shit.
It's savage, but that's
Yeah.
really cool. Because, like,
Yeah,
honestly, I
dude.
find it really cool. Because, like, I know a lot of it's, like, it is a very serious competition, but I know a lot of it for a lot of people is all in good fun as well. So that's, like, a really kind of sick thing to do.
Oh, but there's also a lot of shit talking that happens.
I mean, yes, but, like...
Such as between the Falcons and between the Falcons and Fnatic, you see, they played 8 games on the final day, right? It was 12 teams. Fnatic was our big competitor as well as Twisted Minds, right?
Yes.
Well, Fnatic, we won a game during the first 4 game stretch. Twisted Minds won a game, and then Fnatic won 2 back-to-back, and we're leading in points, right? You get points for kills and placement. It's too long to explain. Just know that we were in second. Well, Fnatic looked over to us and started talking a little shit and said, "Uh-oh, what's going on, guys?" Because we were the favorites going in, right?
Yeah.
The Falcons, right? Well. 2 ninth and 10th place finishes later, the Falcons are back in the lead. So going into the final game, we are up by 20 points. All we have to do is win this game and get a little more kills. But that's not what we here at the Falcons are about. See, we are the maximum amount of petty.
Understandable.
We started chasing them, Luci. We would hunt them down on the map and find them and go kill them. And we did it until they died. And that is how we won the tournament. So then one of the guys named Soka got up and went, "Uh-oh, choke artist."
Nice.
Choke artist. And the 3 keys that we got to crush were Team Vitality, who is a big rival of Falcons as a whole, not even just in fucking Warzone, just in general. Twisted Minds, because they're the fellow MENA team, and they're kind of like our region rival, right? And of course, the sweetest one of all, Fnatic.
Yep.
Were the keys of that round that we got to take. In total, we got to take 13 keys.
Valid. I was gonna say I could definitely be wrong, though. I feel like it also, like, shit talking's kind of a part of that stuff. I feel like they don't all, like, genuinely hate each other, though. Yes. I could be wrong.
Nope. No. There is respect. There is some respect there, but hey, man, you talk your shit, you better lead it up.
Well, that's the thing. That's like the same as like any sport. It's the same as any sporting event. Like, whether it's esports or like baseball or whatever the fuck. There's a bunch of shit talking. You just better be able to fucking like actually pick your shit up after the shit talking.
Yeah. Now I will say, what I do think is funny, is a lot of EU and NA fans are crying right now because the Saudi Arabian teams have home field advantage. Oh, boo!
I was gonna say, like, what the fuck ever.
For once in tournaments, the MENA teams have the crowd on their side. Oh, boo!
Your mic is.
I don't want to hear anything.
Yeah, your mic's
is it? My bad.
A little bit. It's like your audio is like dropping significantly when you talk louder.
I might have a fix for that.
All good, but yeah, no. Like I love when people complain about stuff like that. It's like, oh yeah, they have the home team advantage. I'm like, fuck off. Like, so fucking what? This is the first time it's ever been hosted there?
No, it is not.
It's not. But still.
Gamers 8 has been hosted there since 2022, but still. Oh no, you have to play one tournament where you're not in a region that you've already played in. My bad, bro.
Like 98% of your other tournaments are in the fucking US or in Europe.
Yeah.
Like, tell me where else there's another esports tournament, please.
Like, rarely. Sorry. We have to mention Siege because they just went to Brazil. And they're also a Canada-based company, so they're in Canada. Oh, yes. They have to do their shit in Quebec.
Yes, but that's specifically
my bad.
Siege.
Exactly.
I'm talking, like, overall, just generalized esports.
Yeah.
Like, if we're talking just generalized esports,
Yeah.
98%
It's
of them,
either
US or EU. That's it.
it's like UK,
You,
Texas, LA, Atlanta,
yeah, literally. Fucking New York.
the Netherlands, Copenhagen, and yeah.
Or Seattle.
Like,
Like, very rarely
yep.
Seattle.
Yep. Yep.
Like,
Ay. So yeah, it's very
anybody from the
funny.
EU or the US has no right to complain about shit like that.
It's so nice as a Falcons fan to hear those Falcons chants in the crowd, because they even said it themselves. The crowd was the reason that they won.
Oh yeah.
They were down and out after that fourth game, and after they were talking shit, and the crowd kept them in it the whole time. Every kill they would cheer for them. So they contributed a lot to them.
Yeah,
they mentioned that while they were on the stage.
Yeah, I will say that it's like, yeah, the only like other country I would give like a right to complain to would be like Australia.
Yeah, Australia has tournaments too, though.
They do have tournaments too, but nothing like super major, I'd say.
No, there was a CS:GO major there recently. Actually, they're getting better. They're getting better about it.
I mean, like broad esports though.
Yeah.
That's like my only main thing about it. Like, I know a bunch of like independent like games have their own tournaments in a lot of different areas, but like major esports is usually like one of two continents, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah.
But remember, Luci. Only EU and NA they're the best. They're the best regions in all of esports.
Oh, absolutely.
And they will always be that
Even
way,
though
right?
They get their shit
100%
consistently.
Nowadays, it's taken us a minute. We got there. We're here.
We got there eventually.
And fuck you. And fuck you, Vitality. Y'all suck.
We should also probably switch into the topic because we are at like 45 minutes.
That's fine. This topic is not that long because it is not that hard to comprehend.
That's true.
What's going on here?
That is true.
I mean, let's be honest with you.
It's also like very fresh. This is like a 3-day-old thing.
Yeah. So, what we're going to talk about is fucking the sketch situation.
And if you don't know what the sketch situation is, Sketch is a content creator. I honestly, before this whole thing happened, I actually never heard of him. But seems like a great guy. Seems like a very genuine human being. In short, he's been a content creator for a set amount of time. I really don't know how long. But some leaks happened from years ago where he used to have an OnlyFans where it was like him and other guys in it. He's gay, by the way, right?
I think so.
He's bi or gay,
so.
I think. I don't know what his exact sexuality is, so forgive me if I get it wrong. But yeah, some OnlyFans stuff got leaked of him, and it was like sex tapes of like him and other dudes, and like the entire internet like blew up over that for some reason, and like a bunch of homophobia just came in like left, right field, just hating on the guy. And I just want to state this real quick. Oof told me this. I actually hadn't heard about this part of it, but he tried to kill himself over that.
He didn't try.
Or he was going
but
to.
he was going to.
Yeah.
If he did, he basically he came on to. Yeah, so I'll explain it a little bit. He came on to he wanted to address the allegation. He didn't want to just let this sit, obviously. So yesterday he came on and went live for about, I don't know, like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I got the notification when it went live, so I turned it on because I was like, well, kind of want to see his response. First off, the way he handled it is fucking amazing.
King shit, dude. I saw some of the clips.
His first response was, I did not have sexual relations with that man. Just kidding. Yes, I did. Probably.
King shit, dude.
But basically, what it sounded like to me was, if he didn't have someone to talk to, like the friends that he both
yeah, I saw like the text from FaZe Banks he posted.
Yeah, and then people like Jinxie and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. He would not have been talking in that current moment.
Yeah, no,
He fully admitted that.
And
Yeah.
I mean, like, honestly, I not to diminish one situation versus another, but like,
Yeah.
in all seriousness, when are we actually going to stop, like, okay, content creators are people. Like, I want to start this off with this. When are we going to stop
Mm-hmm.
letting the internet get to a point to where it's just making creators kill themselves left and right? Like, this was almost another Ekida situation. It was almost another Inquisitor situation. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't remember the exact like details of the whole Ekida situation. I remember the details of the Inquisitor situation. Somebody spouted some bullshit. It got leaked, and it wasn't even true bullshit. But they spouted some bullshit.
See, and the fucked up part about it to me is the internet did this 180, and I'm calling out everybody that fucking did this. Okay,
we're talking for but wait, whose situation?
About Sketch. I'm gonna call everybody out that did a complete 180 on this fucking situation, because at first everybody was hating on him, right?
Yeah, everybody jumped his ass.
Oh, how? But then all of a sudden, all these creators, right? All his friends, all of people like Wildcat,
everybody else 180'd and followed.
Hell, I even agreed with I don't usually like XQC, right? We don't.
It's because XQC is a piece of shit, but at least he was good in this situation.
Kind of an idiot, but his response was my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah.
He was talking about one streamer that was like, it was literally making fun of Sketch and being like, "It's in my ass, brother." Yeah, it's so funny, bro.
Oh, I know exactly what streamer you're talking about.
Yeah, it's that guy. Yeah, and XQC literally came out and said, because one of their main points is, oh, Sketch is trying to promote this to kids, and it's like, first off, he tried to hide this, so how is he trying to promote this to kids?
Like, somebody else went off and found that and decided to leak that and to try and ruin the man's career. Like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Secondly, fuck, what was I about to say? What was I just talking about? The first thing was
XQC.
Yeah, XQC was talking, and he said, fuck, I gotta watch the clip. Where's the clip?
That's
have it. I literally have. I've reposted it on Twitter.
While he watches that clip real quick, I just want to state something as well. Like, this is adjacent to Sketch's situation, but I also want to state something on this as well. Is how a lot of the fucking like men who are coming out and basically like being supportive of this are a lot of the same guys I've also seen on social media be like, oh yeah, women fucking suck for doing this. Like, that's another avenue of the hypocrisy here. Like, that's just another avenue of the hypocrisy that I noticed, and I wanted to bring that up. Because it was fucking stupid.
Yep. Yeah. He was saying, stop policing everybody like you care. Why do you act like you care about this situation when you actually don't?
Literally.
If he said that this guy his name is, by the way, the guy we're talking about is Bruce Drop Him Off. Bruce Drop M Off is his name, his ID.
Okay.
SQC is literally, if you seriously care, one of his main points was, oh, I gotta protect my children. I can't let anybody, my kids, watch this, or kids I know in my life watch this. And I'm like, if you really cared about protecting the kids, you would not do half the shit that you do on your streams every day.
No, literally. Like, that's another thing too. Is like, one thing I genuinely hate about the whole like protect the kids rhetoric, when it comes to like creators especially too, who are like LGBTQ. It pisses me off so fucking much, because they're like, oh, I gotta protect the kids, and I'm like, okay, motherfucker, okay, I'm going to get a little bit into the territory of pissing off a lot of people here, and I don't really care, but a lot of these people are always like, oh yeah, I gotta protect the kids from like these people, and I'm like, motherfucker, you let your pastor fuck a child in the goddamn like confession booth. Get the fuck out of here. Like, fuck you and your hypocrisy. It pisses me off so bad, because like the other thing about it too is like There's another creator I follow. Bless their heart, by the way. They are a mom. I'm so sorry, by the way, if I'm getting your pronouns wrong. I'm like 88% sure that you are they, them. But their name is, I believe, like Bo Sheep or something like that. I will have their actual, like, their link on screen right now. Or their actual username, but they're a mother. And it had gotten out in their town. They were posting about it on Twitter, but it had gotten out in their town or among their like child's school that they were non-binary. And they live in like a small Christian town, I believe. I don't really know, to be honest. That's just the vibes I get from all the responses that I was seeing that they were posting about. But it was just crazy because I was looking at all of it and I was like, holy shit! Like their kid referred the parent Bo as they them, which is like, you know, correct.
Yeah.
And then the kid's friend was referring to that, and then Bo's kid's friend's parent reached out to Bo, was like, hey, your kid cannot hang out with mine anymore. Like, I don't want them putting any of those fucking ideas in their head. And I was like, dude, what?
Of course.
Like, it's fucking crazy. And then, like, of course, all of the posts like that they make is there's always like someone in the comments being like, oh yeah, you're a mother, like you're a female at birth, you gotta do this. It's like, shut the fuck up, genuinely.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I used to have a kid. I used to have a kid. That is a crazy statement.
About to say,
that is a crazy.
I was
quote.
about to say, let's backtrack that statement real quick. Neither of us are parents yet.
When I was a kid, that is what I was trying to say. My brain just fast-tracked that sentence.
I used to have a kid. When he was a kid, he means.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to have a friend, right? And I didn't even realize it at the time, but he had 2 moms.
That's the thing.
Didn't even think about it.
That's the thing. Nobody
Didn't
fucking
even
questions
think
it as
about
a kid. Like, the parents are always like, oh, what about the children? Dude, one of my best friends growing up turned out to be gay.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking know.
But he's also gay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like when I was in 5th grade, one of my best friends growing up turned out to be gay, and it was like, okay, what?
Okay, cool.
Like, I'm here, straight as a motherfucker, still, by the way, and I was exposed to this from a young age. Like, my whole thing about it, I just punched my mic. I'm so sorry on the audio there.
I heard that.
Yeah, but like the whole thing, 5th grade, I was 12.
There you go.
I'm so sorry if you had to hear me count my age on that.
Quick maths.
I was like, wait, fuck, how old? I was 12, and that's basically like the first time when I learned what like being gay was. They were like, it wasn't like, you know, a quiet thing. It was like, yeah, I think I'm into guys, which is like, you know, still figuring stuff out. But like, yeah, he told me that at 12 years old. I'm 23 now. It's been 11 years since. And I'm still straight as a motherfucker. So tell me exactly where the grooming occurs. Yeah, dumbass.
It's the same thing with me. Yeah.
Literally. But it's like, yeah, like if somebody, if I had like, like this goes back to one of my absolute favorite, it's either a Reddit or a Tumblr post. But there was a dad out there who, he's gay, by the way, so their kid was adopted. But it was he had 2 dads. And at one point, I guess the school found out, and one of the dads was like, hey, nobody's giving you a hard time about that, are they? And the kid just goes, well, my friends hate that I'm immune to yo mama jokes, but I find it cool. Like,
that's funny.
It's one of my favorite things because like one of my favorite things about it is the only people who ever actually give a shit what your sexuality is, what your gender identity is, what any of this is, are adults.
Yeah.
Like, kids genuinely do not give a shit whether you're gay, whether you're trans, whether you're fucking non-binary. They don't care if your skin is fucking purple, dude. Like, kids do not give 2 fucks about anything.
They only care if the parent tells them to care.
Exactly. And the only thing kids actually genuinely care about is not getting what they want. Like, you withhold food from them, it's World War III.
See, and then the most fucked up part about this whole sketch situation, I think, is what I sent to you later, and I saw earlier today. For context, Sketch is a content creator who makes a lot of Madden content. That's what he's known for, right? He's known to
the
be in the
NFL
football scene. Yeah, so he's known to be in the football scene. He's a Houston Texans fan, right? So he got invited out to the Houston Texans training facility, go hang out with CJ Stroud and some of the starters. CJ Stroud's the quarterback for the Texans. So yeah, he's really well. He even announced a draft pick for the Texans. I think it was the second rounder. He announced it for them on stage. But you know what the NFL goes and does as soon as they hear about this shit? They go back and took down everything that they had about him. Everything.
Every retweet.
You want to know something worse?
All of it.
Yeah. Oh, so you'll keep Sketch up, huh? But so you won't keep Sketch up. But you still got those Dr. Disrespect posts up, huh?
Not even that. Like, the tweet that Oof sent me had a great highlight about this as well. But the tweet that he sent me basically was like, you have players who are actively, like, abusing their partners. And you're worried about a gay man on your socials.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, like, the Michael Sam was how many years ago from now? That was 8 years ago, man. Yeah. Michael Sam is the first gay player that like officially come out. I think it was 2016.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like, come on, man.
The other thing about it is, like, the crazier part about it is, like, they're worried about somebody gay being affiliated with them, but they're not worried about the fact that, like a fucking percentage of their players are domestic abusers. Really?
Or I don't know, one of their owners of one of their teams has been caught in massage parlors, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, that.
And had to take a human trafficking course.
I was gonna say, wasn't there even an allegation at one point that, like, you know, one of their players had raped somebody? It was like, these are.
Yeah, that was Matt Azai, and it was fake.
Okay, that was fake.
That was fake.
But it's like, these are the fucking
unfortunately
people you want around you. Seriously?
Yeah.
And you're just gonna get rid of a guy because what? He likes men?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
That's the quote of that, pretty much. That's why I didn't really want to drag this topic on. It's who gives a shit, man.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not like
who
a major
cares?
topic, but, like, just to add on to the topic as well, like, just outside of the whole sketch situation, it's like, again, my whole thing about this is, like, why is it that the internet gets to basically blow all this shit up when it's something that doesn't affect anybody outside the person? Like, okay.
Why does the internet get the final say on how how does the internet get the final say on how a person acts and lives their life?
Here's my thing about it too. If it's something that doesn't matter for someone else's lives, like for me, for example, say I decided to dye my hair purple for some fucking reason.
Right.
Why does that matter to anybody else? Like, I get it if a content creator or some, like, celebrity or someone, it turns out to be, like, fucking basically like Dr. Pedophile that we had recently. Like, I get it if someone turns out to be like that. At that point, yeah, it's the fucking court of public opinion. Crucify the motherfucker. Yeah. Like, no, don't message fucking minors. Like, that I get, all right? Like, I understand it if it's, like, you know, something that actually, like, actively can harm other people. But it's like, okay, so what? He likes men. Who gives a fuck? Okay, they're transgender. Yeah. Who gives a shit? Like, genuinely, it has nothing to fucking do with you. And, like, when are we actually going to realize that we're fucking killing people with this shit? Like, I don't know how many more content creators, like, let alone just fucking people on the internet, need to die because of this. Because this count, I guarantee you I'm wrong on this count, but this is the third content creator that almost died because of this shit. We had Ekida, which was the first situation that I remember, and I don't even remember what he died over, to be honest. It was like, I think there was people being racist, right?
I can't remember.
I can't remember, but, like,
I can't remember.
If you don't know any of these situations, like, Ekida and Inquisitor are two content creators.
It doesn't matter how it got there. It's the fact that it happened.
It's the fact that the internet
you know what I mean?
Pushed them to the point of thinking that the only way out was to end their life. And that's not even like mental illness at this point. Like, a bunch of people could say, yeah, like mental illness is the reason a lot of people commit suicide. Yes, that's true. But at a certain point, it's like, when are we actually going to start putting the blame on the fucking people who are causing it to get that bad? Because I'll tell you right now, I'm mentally ill. That's not a fucking secret. I'm not going to list my fucking conditions out, but like, I'm mentally ill. So at a certain point, if anything like ever comes up about me like this, y'all have no idea. Like, say if I ever get to make it to be like a massive, like a big content creator, and something happens where it's like I get accused of some shit or whatever, whether it's true or not,
right?
What right does that give anybody to basically like affect my mental health so bad that I decide to kill myself? Because I'll tell you this shit right now. Like, Ekata, like, his friends had to find out secondhand and post that about him, basically saying like, hey, he's dead. Like, I could not fucking imagine being friends with somebody who is a content creator and then having to just go on my socials like days later and just be like, hey, you guys killed him. That would fucking break me. I would not be able to actually handle anything after that.
The tweet that got me was, congrats, you got what you wanted.
Yeah.
Was tweeted out by one of them. And I was like, wow.
Because honestly, that's all I'd be able to say. Like, I would not be, like, all I'd be able to say is basically, all right, you guys got what you wanted. Fuck you all. Like, that.
Happy?
Literally. Like, are you happy now? Because, like, it's the same thing with Inquisitor, too. Like, that man had a full mental break, and he killed himself on a live. He hung himself on a TikTok live. Like, when are we actually going to, like, get to the point of, like, hey, maybe we should stop this before we just keep killing people? Because whether the law sees it this way or not, if you were one of those people who went after Inquisitor, if you were one of those people who went after Ekata for no fucking reason at all, you are the reason they're dead. And a lot of you who went after Sketch as well, I don't care if you 180'd or not, but you are almost the reason that man died as well. And I'm sick of seeing it.
Yep.
I don't care that I didn't know who these people were before they died, or before like the incidents happened about them. What I care about is the fact that you guys think it's okay to just needlessly take human life for no fucking reason.
Yep. And it really, as a small content creator, it really, it almost tells you, why would I want to get big?
Exactly.
Why would I want to be a big creator like that?
I love.
Why would I want all that pressure and all that people fucking screaming that shit in my ear?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Like for example, like content creation for me has always been a dream of mine. Like I love it. I love making content. I would love to be out there one day and just have this be a career. But at a certain point, like I have to consistently think, I'm like, okay, what if one day someone makes up a fucking rumor about me? And, you know, I don't have the proof to dispute that rumor, and no one has the proof to prove that rumor. Am I going to get bullied into suicide? Like, what people have to remember as well is, like, for a lot of these people, content creation is their fucking livelihood. So if a fucking rumor ruins that, it's not only your words that are going to go that far to fuck them over. It's going to be a fact of like, hey, I don't have a career now. And a lot of people who are mentally ill will see one way out of that. And that way is ending it.
Yep.
And like, call them whatever you want, I guess. Like, I'm sorry that I'm fucking human. I don't want to have to see any more of these people kill themselves just because they feel there's nothing else that they can do. And like, I'm going to say this right now. All you who went against Sketch the second you found out about this, you guys are fucking lucky. There were people like FaZe Banks out there and other members of the FaZe clan that were able to stop him. You guys are fucking lucky. Because you almost just caused that man to kill himself.
Yeah. Yep.
And I mean, this is probably the most heated you'll ever see me get on this podcast. But frankly, any of you guys who have ever done this to a content creator who ended up dying because of it, that blood's on your hands. And that's just my opinion on it.
Yep.
That's all I got. This is probably the most heated you'll ever see me get on a podcast, but I'm sick of seeing people die over needless bullshit.
Yeah, and we're done. That's it. That's the end of the episode.
Yep.
We're just gonna honestly, I just want to leave it like that because it's just there's no point there. You can't end this on a good note.
There's no way to end this on a good note. Like It's disheartening. It's like
Yep.
it's disheartening to see this shit. Like it
Yeah,
sucks.
it really, really is.
There's not much else that I can even like say about it. It's just like it sucks to just see this. It's like, all right, we need to. Whatever happened to being like kind? Seriously.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But yeah,
I guess that'll do it for this week.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, separating the podcast from the topic real quick, that we are back. The LoofCast is going to be returning to bi-monthly episodes.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed, and for a lot of you who are on the internet, just the next time you think about retweeting something, the next time you think about posting something that you know about somebody, the next time you think about doing anything or commenting, anything like that, just think about what you're posting before you do it. Because at the end of the day, while a silly comment may just seem like a fucking funny joke to you, for all you know, that could be the thing that pushes somebody over the edge.
Yep.
And regardless of what your fucking beliefs are, it doesn't take much to be kind. I don't care if you don't understand something. I don't care if you don't agree with it. We're fucking human, all right? You live at best 70 years on this fucking planet. You really want to spend them knowing that there's blood on your hands, and you really want to spend them living fucking miserable with hate? If you don't, then I suggest you fucking change something. That's all.
But with that, we sign off. See you later.